Hey, what's up, guys? Are you one of those people who like to hit the snooze button every morning? Sometimes it's not always good to get a little extra sleep. Here are some early rankings for players who might be sleepers in 2022. Cue the intro. Alright, guys, thanks for tuning in. So in this video, we're going to go over some early sleepers in 2022 for fantasy football. Without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. So a lot of times for QBs, you don't really want to go early within the first few rounds. Those are predicated based off of, if you're picking guys like running backs, receivers, even if you want to go tight end, Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews. But normally you want to wait on your quarterback and try to get a diamond in the rough. These are some plays that you can kind of wait on if you don't want to go the streaming option. So Derek Carr, he's drafted as the 14th quarterback off the board in 2022 as of right now. It's still early, but once again, as of right now, it's going off the board as the 14th quarterback. Last year, he finished as the 14th quarterback, and that was a year of chaos. He had very limited weapons. You could say Hunter Renfrow is definitely one of the top, if not the top slot receiver in the league, but he didn't come on until late in the season last year. Evolving into just a guy into one of those top slot guys. Last year Darren Wallace got hurt. Henry Ruggs got arrested. They ended up firing the coach. There was a lot going on last year, and all that being said, Derek Carr still finishes the 14th ranked quarterback. This year he's being drafted at his floor. You could definitely say last year was his floor, right? So last year he also finished in top 5 passing with over 4,500 yards. He's also adding Devontae Adams, Darren Wallace coming back fully healthy. He still has Hunter Renfrow. He has a lot of weapons on his plate, and he's also getting Josh McDaniels, who some might say is a quarterback guru and could definitely mix up the offense and get the ball to these guys where they want to be at. Once again, last year he finishes the 14th, and you could say his probably absolute floor. This year he's being drafted as a 14th with all new weapons and a whole new playbook. He's definitely a sleeper for this year. I can honestly say I can get him. If I had to say now, he can definitely finish as a top 7 quarterback in 2022. Another cool sleeper you can kind of say is Russ Wilson. He's definitely getting a lot of hype right now as far as one of the top guys, but he's also being disrespected as the 10th running back off. 10th quarterback off the board right now. Once again, last year he finished as the 15th quarterback, and that was an injury-riddled season. He had the finger issue. Even when he came back from the finger issue, he still wasn't himself. It was predicated on the run. Pete Carroll loves to run the ball, loves to play hard-nosed defense. The thing is, their defense wasn't really good. We've all heard the saying, let Russ cook, and that's predicated on not letting him, throw the ball as much as he wants to, not letting him command the offense. In the new offense in Denver, he's got, some can arguably say, better weapons. You got Courtland Sutton, you got Jared Judy, you got Tim Patrick, you got KJ Hamler coming back from injury, you got Javonte Williams, you got Melvin Gordon, and you definitely have a QB's coach and a head coach who's going to let Russ cook. So, once again, he's being drafted as the 10th quarterback off the board. In my eyes, that's a steal. Let's go to receivers. So Michael Pittman has somewhat of a breakout last year. He had over 1,000 yards. He's definitely commended himself as a number 1 receiver in that offense. Right now he's being drafted as the 15th running back. Damn, I keep saying running back. 15th receiver off the board. So he's being drafted as a top 24 receiver. Last year he finished as wide receiver 17, and that's with Carson Wentz, right? So we can all say that Matt Ryan is a quarterback's upgrade from Carson Wentz, who can easily support a number 1 receiver. He's done it for years. He's done it with Julio. He's done it with Calvin Ridley. He did it last year with Kyle Pitts, even though he's not a receiver, still a number 1 option. And as the Colts, you lost Zach Pascal, you lost T.Y. Hilton, you lost Jack Doyle, which, might not be household names, but you're also talking about 149 targets up for grabs. So you could easily see the 100, you could easily see 120 to 150 targets for Michael Pittman as a number 1 receiver on that team. And once again, being drafted as a top 15 receiver, I could easily see him going as a top 12, maybe even a top 10 receiver. So he's definitely a sleeper for 2022. And last but not least, let's go with the tight ends. So this is going to be a subject of discussion, right? So Gerald Everett, some of you guys let me know what team he's on this year. He's going undrafted. He's basically being left for dead in drafts this year in 2022. So last year in Seattle, he finished as a tight end 22, which for fantasy purposes means he's virtually unusable. But that wasn't a Howard offense, once again, with Russell Wilson, who was hurt most of the year. It was a run-heavy offense, and he split time with Will Dissly. So why does that matter? I'm going to tell you why it matters. For sake of argument, Jared Cook last year with the Chargers had a tight end 17 finish with 83 targets, almost 50 receptions, over 500 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Now, why does that matter? Gerald Everett is now on the Los Angeles Chargers. So he upgraded at quarterback. He upgraded as far as the offense goes. The Chargers are going to be a top 5 offense in the league this year. He's a starting tight end. He's no longer going to be splitting time as a part-time player. He is a much better athlete with a higher ceiling than Jared Cook. If Jared Cook can give you 5,504, which was good enough to be a top 10 tight end last year, Gerald Everett should at the very least be drafted as a top 10 tight end. Once again, he's going undrafted. So this year, I definitely think Gerald Everett could be a sleeper for 2022 as a tight end position. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in for this early sleepers video. And just remember, sit back, recline, because you are just in time. Check it later.